Hi, my name is Jamie Garcia, and I'm here today to talk about what I think our church should be teaching our people. Today I went to a Seventh-day Adventist church, and they were talking about giving God's gospel and love. And it sounded an awful lot like they were neutering God to me. That's what it felt like to me. I felt violated from beginning all the way to the end. I had trouble listening to this people. I really did. And the lady asked a question. How do you give the gospel? What was the question that she said? It was a loaded question. What was the question though? How do you give the gospel in love, right? How do you give the gospel in love? And I told her, I said, lady, that's a loaded question, because sometimes when you tell somebody something, or pretty much every time you tell somebody they're doing something wrong, that they're doing something against God, that is in love, because you're telling this person so that they don't go to hell, so that they don't die in their sin. That's love, being able to tell somebody that. But when, smiling, being politically correct, you can't always do that. So I spoke up to that church, in that church today. They led me into another room, but they were better than the last church I spoke up in. At least the Sunday church I went in, they dragged me backwards and poked me with my own cane. But at least they put their hands on me and guided me gently, and didn't try to mess with me. That was a Seventh-day Adventist church. A cult, according to some people. I believe they're bent up, like most of the churches in our land, and that we're in trouble. I'm a little retarded, and I've lived life as a coward. Even though I served in the army, I don't think of myself as courageous. I don't think of myself as extraordinary. But I'm happy I served. I'm proud I served. And I learned to overcome a lot of stuff serving. I almost said the wrong word. My bad. Well, anyway, I think that is the one thing that lacks in our church. So if this church that I speak to now, if they receive this video, this is me answering them without doing it the way they want to do it. It's me taking the advice of another Seventh-day Adventist dude that I thought was really damn wise, even though I don't believe as he does either. But I still like the little, I'm gonna say it, little prick. Because I love the way he had style. He was an old buzzard, but he had style. And his family went through some stuff. So whatever he believes, he's got the chops to earn them. He'll defend them. And I bet he'll welcome, your challenge. But he's not gonna meet you the way you want to meet him. He'll give you your answer in a video. So I guess I'm giving you an answer in video. The lady that spoke this thing in their Sabbath school today, just bring the truth in love, was a loaded question. I answered with, rip the Bible in half, take Paul book out and Acts books out, and everybody will get along. Just pick one side to do, and you'll get along with at least each other. But the one thing that I would like to teach her more than trying to bring the gospel in love, because bringing the gospel in love, even if you have to yell it, that's bringing it in love. That's bringing it in the ultimate form of love, exhorting it above everything, taking the word of the gospel and exhorting it above everything, even your own life, being a beacon to those around you. You save yourself and you might just save somebody else in doing it. So the one thing I think that they're doing wrong in there, all the churches that I've seen, is they're teaching people to be cowards. And that right there is wrong to me. You shouldn't teach people to be a coward. You can be courageous and still love. In fact, if you're courageous, sometimes you love courageously too. You love harder, not softer. I resent you using love in the way you do, because you're wrong. He gives you the parable even in the Bible, if at all you can understand it. He says, which son is a good son? The son that says all the great things to the father and doesn't do the things the father asks? Or the son that says all the wrong things but does everything the father asks just because he feels bad? Which to you is the more better son? I'm the son that says all the wrong stuff, but I try to do everything the Father asks of me, because I do feel bad for who I was and what I did, and I'm different than I was before. I'm no longer the same person. I'm afraid all the time, but I have courage. I'm weak. And I'm getting old. I'm 50 years old. But I'm strong in the Lord. I was once blind and didn't know the truth and walked in darkness. But I saw a great light. I saw a great light. I saw a great light. And I know the truth. I know the truth. I've looked in the mirror of what the Bible has to offer, and it showed me the person looking back didn't measure up, but could just needs some help. And that's what he offers you. The revelation of what's looking back at the other person in the mirror, and the power to make a change here and there and work at it. That's what the Holy Spirit of God, it does to you. It takes the heart of stone inside you that keeps on letting his words go, and it puts a heart in there that wants to absorb it all. Even if this thing upstairs, even if that thing upstairs wants to fight it all the way. It gives you a spirit that wants to do the things that it speaks in there, because they smell, they don't smell, they sound like honey as you read them. And it's sometimes as you digest them, as they go into your belly, they get sour, because a lot of them, especially in the words in red, are a very, very bitter pill to swallow. Because he does expect things of people. Not hard things to comprehend, but the things he expects out of people is sometimes really hard to do, because life, it doesn't guide us to, it doesn't give us all the same breaks. We all don't respond to adversity in a godly way, but we can. So if I can impress anything upon anybody that listens, learn courage. Courage. Have the courage to stand up. Have the courage to speak up. Have the courage to stay the course. Even if your heart is racing, even if you feel like your knees are gonna buckle, even if you don't feel you can stand one more second, have the courage to speak up. Abba, Father, give me the strength to stand this one more minute. Have the courage to ask him for the strength to go forward just one more minute. Ask him for the strength to overcome, the strength to endure, the strength to speak up, for courage. Most people, they lack it. I thought I recognize it, that I lacked it, and I work at it every day to acquire it. I put myself in places where I need courage, even if the Lord don't. I spoke up, because it takes courage to speak up, even if you don't think that you're much of yourself like me. It takes courage to have faith that the words that you read, that you are getting them right, that you're not that dumb, that you cannot be getting them wrong. Having the courage to stand up and make it known. Pray for courage like that.